Hi kids, it's me, Miss MC. So long that I haven't seen you. Well, I saw you in the last video, and I sure hope that you guys are enjoying our lessons about English, and I hope that you were able to correct some of the worksheets. Okay, right now we're going to change the topic a little bit, and we're going to go into one of our classes that we've actually already seen before, but I want to make a review about, which is science. Science class. We have today science class. And what we're going to do is, of course, I know that you don't have your science book, but I do. So what I did was I scanned it, and you can see it right here on our screen. This is our book, da-da-da-da. And last week when we were in class, we saw this unit. Unit 1, humans and animals. And remember, you guys, remember Fabrice and also Raphael that we read this in class? Luis, you can go ahead and read on with us. That way you can learn what we're learning and stay up to speed, okay? So I'm going to read you this. I know that you can read it too, but it's just easier if we all read it together. Follow along with me so that you can also learn exactly what we read. Okay. What would we be like without bones? We would not be able to stand or move. Our skeleton supports and protects us. It gives us a way to move and keep upright. It doesn't stay the same size. It grows with us. If it didn't, we would never grow taller than a baby. Remember how small you were when you guys were kids? What do you know? You can name some parts of your body. We did this in class. We have a head and shoulders and knees and toes. Remember that song? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Okay. We need to eat to grow and be healthy. So we need to eat healthy food so our bones and our muscles grow and stay strong. As we get older, we grow bigger, and humans are a type of animal. Now, these are some of the words that we're going to learn, but not right now. So I'm just going to skip on to the part where we did in class, okay? Let's find out. If you break your leg, a doctor puts a plaster cast on it. When the cast comes off, your leg is often thinner than it was. Why does the doctor put a cast on? Why is your leg thinner? How have the muscles changed? What can you do to make both legs look the same again? Now, we talked about how when we break our bones, it's similar to two pieces that are separated, and I have to put them together and hold them in that place. That's what the cast is for. All right. So we went a little deeper into animal bones, and I remember that I showed you a picture of a skeleton. Now, last week, I also sent you a video of a skeleton and a little worksheet for you to identify some bones, so I hope you did that. What we know is that humans are a type of animal. We have a big bony skeleton inside our body. And there are some other animals that also have a bony skeleton inside them. So let's read over here. Your bony friend. Feel your hands and fingers, and just go ahead and do that. They're soft, but inside you can feel there's a hard frame. This is part of your skeleton. Without your skeleton, you would be a big, shapeless jelly, like no shape. Because your bones give you shape, see? These are bones, here's your jaws are bones. Your nose is part bone, part cartilage. You'll learn about that later. Your bones keep your shape. Without them, you could not move. They grow with you, getting harder as you get older. Now, on the beach, you can find shells. Once, each shell had a small living inside, a small animal living in it. The shell was its skeleton and protected them. These animals had their skeleton on the outside of their bodies. What would we look like if our skeletons weren't on the outside of our bodies? We can't even imagine that because it would be so weird. Now, bones are alive, guys. Inside our bones are alive and growing. Under that hard shell of your body are lots of tubes carrying blood to your bones. The inside of your bones are filled with air spaces. That makes them light and spongy, which is why we're able to flex the muscles. We talked about how sometimes we fall, and it's not a big fall, it's rather soft, and we hit the ground, but we don't break our bones because our bones have a particular flexible structure, and sometimes when that fall is too big, too hard, too rough, then that's what causes our bones to break. Big and small. We have many different sized bones in our body. The smallest bone is in our ears. It is called the stapes. It is less than half a centimeter long. It's about this big. That's about half a centimeter there. In fact, if you see my handy ruler here, I'm going to stand behind it. You see here it says 0 to 1 there in the middle, so it's right about here. That's how big it is, how small that is. Wow, okay. The longest is our thigh bone. This is called the femur. It can be about 60 centimeters long. Now, this is 30 centimeters, so you have to double it, and it'll be as big as you can sort of see there on the camera. Well, I'm not so good at this. Okay, well, that would be the double. There you go, something like that. Okay, anyway. Moving on, guys. Our bones in our human body are internal. They all fit together to make up our skeleton. There are other animals that have that quality as well. So we did see a picture like this, and it's facing your notebook, and I know your notebooks are at school, but this is the structure of the skeleton in a bat. Now, we talked about how it sort of looks similar because, well, it has arms and shoulders and a rib cage and the spine and the legs, and look at how long the fingers are on a bat's fingers. But our fingers are quite small, and they're actually of different sizes, just like that one could be the pinky, this could be the ring finger, the middle finger, the index, and finally the thumb. Wow. Okay. Now, did you know that there are about 206 bones in your body? Over half of them, so 50%, that's about 100 bones, are in your hands and in your feet. Each hand has 27 bones, and each foot has 26. Wow, that's a lot of bones for just one tiny structure, just like your hand. Now, babies are born with at least 300 bones. By the time they're an adult, they have only about 206. That is because some bones fuse or bond together. The collarbone is the last to fuse when we are about 20 years old. That would be this one. This is the collarbone. Sticks out from your chest and your neck. A dog's dinner. Dogs chew the bones of other animals. The bones have a soft, tasty core called the bone marrow. Chicken bones are brittle and splinter easily. They can hurt the insides of a dog's throat. That's why you're not supposed to feed dogs chicken bones especially. They can eat all other kinds of bones, but not chicken bones. Now, bones are very strong. They're made from a material that is contained calcium. Calcium is also in your teeth and in eggshells. Bones are very strong, but they snap if you give them a sudden, hard shock. Then they break like an eggshell. You can move because of joints between your bones. Some joints are like hinges. So let's take this. This would be your elbow, you guys. If you look at your elbow, over here, the long bone that goes down from your shoulder is called the humerus bone. And then here in your arm, you have two bones. One that goes on the back, on the bottom. That's the ulna. And the radius goes up here at the front. You can actually see it on mine. I'm pulling my skin. You can see this is my radius. Okay, they connect to your wrist. Now, both your shoulder and your wrist are joints. You see how they're flexible? They allow your hands to move up and down. And your shoulder is a more wide motion because I can move my arm up and down, but also sideways, and it has like a circular motion. Yeah, I can do that with my shoulder. And how do we know when our bones are broken? We use an x-ray. When you go to the doctor, they take an x-ray to see a picture of your bones. In this case, you see down here, that is a fracture. Now, these machines were invented over 100 years ago by a man called Wilhelm Hauptmann. He first used them to look through his wife's hand. He could see her bones. X-rays pass through your flesh, but they are stopped by your bones, which is why when you take an x-ray, you can't really see organs. You can only see your bones. Okay? Now, here you have an image of a human skeleton, okay? And you already practiced on this on the video that I sent you and the worksheet that you already did. So for the activity that we're going to do with this class, you'll have to see it on the next video. I hope you like this review. I'll see you in a couple of minutes when you look at the next video.